Very good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Uko sawa, uko fresh, uko ital, kila kitu uko sawa. Wonderful, heated discussion. Wacha nikwambie hii mambo ya 3% itaturambus. Abikadi had a very interesting conversation there, very heated. It shows you that, by the way, when it comes to money now, people are starting, I mean, this is the hot button. Already watu wame squeeze. Already dollar iko 140. Wacha nisiendeleze. You will see that it will be repeated a little bit later on after this. But it's quite the debate as well. Clearly, something that if I was government and I'm not, I would be paying attention to at least, but that's beside the point. Today I want to talk about when Kenyans are done. No, I'm kidding. I want to talk about... Now, originally we were going to talk about when men are done, because we have a few men here who actually suggested that we do that topic, who are in this place. However, because CJ Atemo is at an engagement, we have flipped it. Now we want, because there are two ladies in the building. I'm surrounded by a bevy of beauty. So they are going to help me talk about and help us men know the signs when women are done. Unajua kuna kwa na ile pengine mtu bado anakusmailia, unajua very well umechelewa. Unajua normally anazishanga. Unafika nyumbani anasema, umefika? Haya sawa, chakula ndo hii. Alafu anaenda. How are you doing? I'm fine. Hey, we're going to talk about that right here. So, first of all, introduce the panel, of course, Bobby. What's up?
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Nico, happy.
Uko sawa? Yeah.
I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, we missed you too.
Yeah, but I'm back. I wasn't okay, but like health-wise, but I'm dandy.
Say uko sawa.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm happy. Niko excited kusikia opinions ya Cutie. Yeah, nataka tu kusikiza.
Nataka kusikiza form bila natuchapia.
Unajua saa ingine sisi wote ni madem lakini opinions ina vary.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd like to hear.
All right, Cutie.
Wagwan. Mimi niko aita.
What a weekend you had.
What a weekend. We had a good weekend.
Yeah, a good weekend.
Nilikuwa na wewe pale kwenye nini?
Yeah. Orichi, alafu mkaenda Alberto's.
Nikaenda Eldoret Alberto's.
Yes, na shut up boy.
Tukarudi jana asubuhi kama tumeingia kazi. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Jana lala mapema. So unaona siku kusumbua jana. Lala by saa moja nilikuwa out. I was out like a child, you know.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's always good to have fun.
The weekend was good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Unakaa fiti?
Thank you very much.
Kuna mtu amekwambia unakaa vizuri.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Kuna mtu amekwambia?
Si tumekushambulia huko.
Tumekushambulia huko unakaa fiti. Kama kuna mtu anakuambia mali ni safi budi.
Asante sana.
Uko single ama kwa soko ama soko ni chafu?
Kwa soko. Hiyo soko. Soko yangu hapo. Unajua nenda kwako huko soko mjinga. Yangu niko na hapo.
We.
Aya. In the meantime,
text itaingia.
Text inazo. I just find it funny how when you're on TV, you're single. Anyway, let's discuss today's topic. And so to answer, like, since you wanted to hear opinion, okay. So we'll start with Cutie. First of all, in context, this particular. We'll do this for when a man is done. Yeah, look at that. The text came in. I'm being Cutie and I'm checking. Tumekusikia na
haina mu.
So,
don't worry.
You're standing in it.
Yeah.
Very good. So now, the text that we were supposed to discuss, it was of a man who, this lady came home, akapata ujamaa ameenda amebeba tu laptop bag. Amesema is a wrap. Amewacha nyumba, amewacha kila kitu, amewacha all of that. All he had was a laptop bag, and he went on to talk about how it was different treatment from when he was broke and when he was okay. Now, so that sometimes they say for men wananyamazanga sana, so by the time that they're actually acting out and leaving, they could leave you in April, but in reality they left in December. Now, is that the same for women? Are you pia kuna wale wanangojanga ama utatakuwa unaturushia tu hints tu? Ama utakosa mimi ndaenda. What is the situation?
You know, for women, Willis, actually, unajua tunapenda kuambia tuko na kisirani, tuko na makelele. But when that woman is talking, yote manazusha, anajaribu communicate. Na ni ukweli atakwambia hivyo. By the way unajua nitakuacha. By the way nitakuacha. Hizi ngori uko nazo, hizi issues uko nazo, nakwambia kitu usikii. Babe, sasa mbona una cheat? Na nakwambia uache na usikii.
Haya, sidhani inakuanga hivyo.
Inakuanga hivyo. Willis nakwambia
hivyo ati sasa babe, mbona una cheat?
Wacha nikwambie ukweli.
Haikuangi unafika kwanza your clothes are on fire.
Willis no. Unacheki dem kabla react, atakwambia. Dem atakushua, atakwambia by the way babe, mbona unafanya hivi? Just please stop doing this ABCD. Babe, acha kwenda kama unaenda out, wacha kwenda mpaka sasa. Acha kurudi kwa nyumba saa 10. Unajua? Acha kufanya dem atakwambia like a million times. Actually literally a woman will tell you a million times. And by the time dem amenyamaza, ikifika point dem amenyamaza. Ati dem amekunyamazia wewe jua kimomana heri apige hii kelele. Unaona hii kelele inasaidia. Because when a woman now ile point itafika atanyamaza, wewe sasa jua umeachwa. When a woman keeps quiet na uonenye kabisa ama unacheki nafikaga point dem unashindwa na mama squeeze aongee. Mama squeeze amenyamaza hata azushi. Mpaka wewe mwenyewe unaanza kujishuku. Jefika hiyo point unaona mama sasa amenyamaza sana.
Na haiwezi kuwa ati ni growth
no, baby. Growth gani?
Sasa amenini
growth
like
gani?
over time.
When a woman stops talking, be very worried by the way. Hiyo sasa ndio time amefika mwisho. Hiyo ndio time sasa ameamua unajua ni aje acha niache naye. Unataka kufanya hivyo vile unataka kufanya. You leave him alone to do what he wants. But women most of the time utapata si atujui kunyamazia ngori. We don't know how to ati we keep quiet. Hakuna kitu kama growth brother. Tutazusha, tapiga kelele kwa hiyo nyumba a million times literally. I'll be like, but they stop doing that. It's actually irritating me. Stop doing ABCD, stop doing ABCD. But ni kama hiyo ndio wewe inawafanya ndio unafanya zaidi Sawa kwa kichwa chako unajiambia mimi mama hizi nikali. Si anaongeanga tu na anakaa. Na utapata madem utapata that's why most of the time tunaambia ati si urudi ati tumeangusha mbogi. Na utapata time yenye dem anaambiwa na mabeste wake like achana huo msee hiyo time atatoka. But ile time yenye dem atafika mwisho hakuna mtu anajuanga, hata mabeste wake wajuangi. Unashtukianga tu alitoka akaenda, mabeste hawajui kitu, familia ijui kitu na chalia jui kitu. Unaget
hakuna usanapewa hata heads up because unajua at the end of the day committee, acha niite committee. Committee ni mabeste wangu. So wajua wako hapo wananichocha wananiambia. In fact wanasema they normally say that if you mlikuwa mmekubaliana alafu haende hivi harudi asema by the way I was just thinking usema ni committee wamepewa proposal board haija approve go back. But most of the time utapatanga dem atachochwa maybe hata na familia yake, her brothers, her sisters. Utapata dem anarudi tu every time tu anarudi ako hapo, wasi wanamwambia sasa uliona nini kumsi, hata mbona unarudi, mbona uko hapo. But dem anajua Kenya anafanya, yeye anasema mimi najua umse na anda kumpatia chance. So a woman will give you 1,000,001 chances before she actually decides to go. But I'm telling you, but the day she decides, you know what, she won't tell anyone, even the friends. Committee hawajuangi, committee wanakujanga kujua baadaye wanasema guy ulitoka. So dem atasema you guys have been telling me but mimi nilikuwa naona the good in this guy. So I was just giving him a chance, you see. I was just trying to make this work because ndio dem settle down a boy anakuanga ameona vitu mob sana. So atakupatia hizo chances mingi, ajaribu kuona kama utachange. Ikifika mahali aone like huyu sasa mahali imefika, I'm just tunazoeana sana.
Tunazoeana. Na hata ka hizo 1,000,000, unajua ni 1,000,000 tunahesabingi by the way Willis. Zinafikanga mita. Juu nyinyi nayo amwambiangu unajua. So zinakuanga so many chances so that by the time natoka I'll just pack my things and actually go and no one will know. Ukikuja kwa hao, pata hao ilifagiliwa buda. Si atuendagi na laptop bag. Acha hivyo boycha alienda na laptop bag. Si tunabeba everything kwa hiyo nyumba tunaenda nayo. Don't carry a laptop bag. We carry everything and we go. Wewe ukikuja unapata hall of fame.
Kwani tulikuwa tuna nini?
Buda unapata.
Were there movers?
Kulikuwa na movers, hall of fame. Kiateka kukupigia simu. Hakukuambia anything. Juu anajua mama ndo ako in charge kwa hiyo house. So women we don't really say when we are leaving. You'll just be there making noise. So as a man you should be worried when a woman is not making that noise and is not talking to you and is not telling you stop doing this, stop doing this. You should be actually really worried about that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, what about you, Bobby? What do you think?
Cutie kill. Lakini a lot of what she said is very true. When you talk to people who've been through divorce or like really traumatizing breakups, especially if they were in abusive relationships, and you listen to them and you ask them like, what is it that was the final straw? What is it that mbona ulimwacha? Reasons inakwanga very minimal. Unapatanga ati nilifika home nikapata vyombo kwa sink, and that was it. Like, ilini trigger. And this is after years or months of taking the abuse or being in a relationship that's not suitable for you. So I think one day it just clicks in you and you start to see them for who they are. Because when you like someone, most times you project your own attributes onto them. You start to see they're amazing, they're perfect, but that's your amazing personality that you're projecting onto them. This is why when you're with people, you need to get to know them, spend time with them and get to know them and take their actions at face value. Kama ni mtu wa communicatingi, itake hivyo, usianze kutry kuexplain ati, unajua, ana go through things. Kuna sisi watu wenye pia go through things, but tumejifunza ku-communicate when we're going through things. Tumejifunza ku-reach out. It's not like when people are born, they know how to do these things. All these things are learned as we go. And as you form relationships with people, you get to know them. Kuna skills zenye ni basic zenye lazima ulearn. Vitu kama communication, respect. So you asked Cutie the question, and I think that most women leave mentally before they're able to leave physically. And it's because of that projecting your good qualities onto your lover or onto your friendships. So the best thing that you can do to avoid these things, I mean, I know love is like a drug. Like when you like each other, it's very difficult to be objective and to make very straightforward decisions. This is why you need to understand that love is not enough. Ongeze hizo vitu zingine, jiulize, do I feel safe? Am I able to be emotional in this situation? Can I think? Can I speak? Am I respected? Am I happy? Not just love, because love inaweza kuwa ni wewe uko in love na yeye hakulove, but una hold on to your situation because you so desperately need to be loved, or you need validation, or you don't want to be lonely or alone. So I think that also that men and women are socialized very differently. Like other than us being very different down to biology, I think the way we are socialized is very different, and I keep saying this. Sisi madem tumefunzwa ni rahisi sana kuongeleshana na kusema venye tunaifeel na kusema kenye tunafeel. But ukiwa around mtu ajazoea, you'll realize that they take offense. If you're around someone who's not used to talking about their feelings, umwambie, Willis, jana venye huku communicate nilisikia vibaya, utapata Willis ana jam juu. What do you mean? What do you mean nilikufanya usikie vibaya? Sikuwa najaribu kufanya usikie. You get, but it's just a habit thing that you need to learn. We can't keep saying that men are like this or women are like this. All these attributes are things that can be learned. And if you're in a relationship with someone, that should be something that you so willingly and deliberately want to do. You should be wanting to do better, wanting to communicate better, wanting to feel better. So I'd say that when people are in relationships and wanafika point yenye wana feel ni kama hii relationship haiwezi work, create a safe space where you guys are able to talk to each other. Have mechanisms whereby you're able to solve conflict. Like hivyo venye Cutie anasema, dem yako akishinda akikushow 1, 2, 3, acha come home late. Ukikuwa out late ni show. Most times it's about anxiety, like worry. Sometimes I'm very secure in my attachment style, like mi sinanga shida chali yangu akiwa out. But you see, if you're out and you're not communicating, and I don't know if you're safe, I don't know if you're okay, I don't know where you are, I don't know who you're with. If you're in a relationship with someone, you shouldn't feel like giving this kind of communication or this kind of information is a stretch at dem anatakanga tu kujua pali niko. It doesn't come out of like anger or insecurities always. It can be about, I'm just anxious, I don't know if you're okay. I would love to know, in case of anything could happen. Maybe you could need something, maybe, so if you communicate, it's easier for me to know, my boyfriend is at the club, he said he's gonna be home at 3. It's 5, maybe there's something. I can start checking up on him. But if you shun what she says and you're not interested in communicating, you see, what you do is you teach the other person to back off. You teach the other person that even if they communicate their feelings and they tell you what they feel like, you're not going to compromise, you're not going to meet them halfway. So what happens is they stop. They stop asking for the communication, and she'll start being very comfortable without you. She'll create a new life where she doesn't wait to hear from you if you got home safe, if you're okay, like itakuwa tu sawa. And that's when you'll notice that she's pulling away and the emotional connection is dying. But by this time, like, it's a bit too late, and it doesn't have to get there. That's why I'm saying, if you're in a relationship and you really care for these people, it doesn't matter what kind of level relationship it is, whether romantic or with your brother or your friends or your boss, just communicate. It doesn't take anything away. Text your boss and say, najua nafaa kwa hapo 8:30, say ni 8:45, niko late na come. It looks like it's something you can go over, but what you're doing is you're teaching the other person that you're not responsible enough to be communicative. And sometimes it's just, maybe hata anangori nawe kwa late, ni ile tu anashanga, manze, job ilikuwa ianze by 8:30, ujasema. So it's, let's teach ourselves to be able to be very communicative, because it solves so many things. I mean, I've been mending a lot of relationships in my life of late, and I'm realizing that hizi ni vitu tungefanya last year, like tunazifanya sahi, but tungefanya last year too. All it took was one of us to pick up the phone
and say, hey,
and say, yo, I really want you in my life, or I miss you, or I care about you. And this goes for even like with my mom, tukikosana, even my little brother. It's just a simple text, just that prompt. That's why when, especially in friendships, I keep reminding people that you need to separate the ego. You need to come as yourself, willing to be very vulnerable, willing to be loving. And if you keep exuding this kind of energy, I know people think being sensitive and vulnerable makes you weak, but if you keep exuding this energy, it makes sure that the people around you are meeting you on the same frequency.
Right.
So it's not going to be difficult for you to just be yourself, to say how you feel, and to communicate. So teach yourself. Don't feel like ni kama ayu dem anatetanga sana. Jiulize, mbona anateta?
Maybe ni ateta. Okay, sorry. Maybe ni ateta. Anapenda kuteta, but there are some people who are naturally But anyway, let me ask you as well, for those of you who are watching, just so you can jump in, help us. And this goes specifically to the ladies. Now, you don't have to leave your name, especially if you don't want to leave your name or where you're watching from, you can use the SMS platform, which is 22422. But we want you ladies to help us men today, and that's why we're asking this question. Let's go ahead and put the question up so that we can ask the ladies, what are the signs that a woman is done with a relationship? Tafadhali, if you're a woman or lady out there, help us. Give us the signs. Give us the Mwakenya. Let us the Mwakenya. Let us know what are the signs. Remember, if you don't want your name to appear, you can go ahead and use 2242. But if you're bold enough and you want to use, and the account is yours, it's not a pseudo, you can use the hashtag Daybreak on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and do it. But for SMS, if you're I'm flying watching from somewhere, it's good to see where you're watching from as well. Also here, of course, our resident panelist, Namu, has also said that when a woman is done, the manipulation tactics won't work, or tears or promises, they just don't matter. Whether Umuta pick up a challenge, baby Celesta, you know I love you, we ain't never gonna do that again. But man, and then also, there's another one that I also had Tyler Perry mention, and she's reminding me of it, is gentlemen, if you know you're not handling, what time is it? Let's call it business. If you're not handling your business, you know you're not exactly a good person. Drop the ball, and your lady is walking around the house smiling. It's not because she's happy with Jesus alone. Jesus has some help putting a smile on that face. So, ukae rada mtu wangu. Unajua wenyewe wewe unakuanga uko bottom of the barrel. Jua msa ujua. Wewe ujua put in effort. Na udemaka kutoa, oh people, ujua anasaidiwa. Na uko na helper. Yeah, help. Kuna mtu anakusaidia. Naambia tu ya uwe sindio? Yeah man. So the other question is this. So picture this. The time is right. If there is a man who's watching, and I realize from both what you're saying. Like, by the way, of late, this lady has been a bit quiet. Vile QT amedescribe, umetick all the boxes of what he's going through. Alikuwa anazusha siku hizi azushi. Maybe hata hii sahi anajua hata hii kitu Willis amesema maybe I look up to the hills. Sasa na overthink. What do you think a man should do? But I don't know if you should introduce a man at this point, because I still think we need to talk more about the girl child. No, let's flip it. What do you think a woman should do? Kama ako hapo. Ako at that point where and even let's use again an example, maybe wameshtaki umekuwa kimwambia yeye mwenyewe anaweza ona, but she still wanted to give that chance, sometimes even to her own detriment. What does she do? Because she's up at the brink, she's just about to be done. And like Roberta said, it could be you don't know you're done until hiyo ufike nyumbani siku moja the dishes, one sock is on the floor. Normally you would pick it up like okay, but because vitu zimepile, hiyo sock will be there. The last thing, it will be the last sock. You'll sock it to him. Eva, what do you think?
You know, women, we are very patient. Vile tumeumbwa na God, we are very patient creatures. Like, a woman will actually, because your mother nature and all that, being moms and all that, unapatanga dem ako very patient na mtu. In a relationship, it's always the woman that is very patient. And you'll find that a woman can stay even for 10 years in a relationship. Ataka. But hiyo siku yenye ameamua, ameamka, ameenda. So, if you ask me what I think a woman can do, imagine, Willis, there is nothing. Ikifika your point,
that's it.
That's it. Because at the end of the day, if I'm giving you chances, if you're a man and I'm communicating to you, you know, there are men who don't, sijui wanaume wanakuanga tu wako tu, like men are just there. Like mko tu, unajua, like unajaribu communicate na mse. So options ni mbili, it's either you learn to live with that person the way they are, you try to understand them, kama ni mtu wako na hajui ku communicate. That's the only way. Either you try, because huwezi change mwanaume. A man will only change if he wants to change. No matter how much you do. Hata ufanye nini. Buda hata upige magoti hapo.
Wacha pull up. Hapo wanga kwa kweli, don't let it slide, girl. But a man will only change
when he wants to change. You can never change a man. You're a man, you know these things.
Yes, yes. That's what you must
By the way, wanaume ufanya kila kitu wanataka kufanya. At the end of the day, it's all about him. Like, utacheki boy amechange hadi mabeste wake anamwambia, "Hey, buda siku hizi unaenda mapema. Buda siku hizi unafanya vitu fulani, ni juu yeye ameamua." But madam, mistake yenye si ufanya ni kutry kuchange huyo mwanaume. Unajaribu kumwambia ati usiku unafanya hivyo, mimi sipendagi ukifanya hivyo. Boss, boss hata change. Ni yeye mwenyewe ndo atajiambia, by the way, udem ni mfiti, itabidi nimeenda na mutaratara yake. But when you try to force things in a relationship, you can only do so much. And that's the mistake that we do. Most of the time, you'll find your spouse trying to change you. Na ukianza kufanya mtu kumchange, utaanza feel like you're suffocating. You're just like, this person is not getting me. This lady is not understanding me. Nikikuwa na udem, na feel ni kama si breathe. I feel like I'm drowning. And you know, many you don't talk. Ora jifanya tu boy anaenda dem anamwambia, by the way, ujue weekend tunafanya hivi na hivi na hivi. Hii weekend tunafanya hivi. Yani unapata boy child amepangwa hadi ana breathing space, like they can't breathe. So as a woman, you cannot force a man. Just don't force him. Let him be. And if you can love him the way he is, good for you. That's what I keep saying. Like, good for you if you can love your man the way he is, because these people are very difficult.
Point.
That's when I represent these ones over here. This gender.
These people.
No, but this gender is difficult, and when you try to force things, actually you're the one who will suffer. For example, if I try to change a man, I'm the one who is going to suffer, because I'll force him to like try to communicate. If he doesn't communicate, for example, I tell him, babe, please be communicating. Just please be texting. He's not texting. Mazi, you're telling, please be texting me when you're not, if you know you're not eating dinner, nini nisi hustle. But he's not communicating. Him is just coming at home. Ume hustle, umepika, umefanya nini, but he won't eat. But he didn't tell you that. So you've been hustling over here doing things. But yeye amekuja tu na ametulia, and he can even go to sleep and not even, yani for him, men don't take things so seriously, but women, we take things personally, we take things seriously. But nimekam ku realize boy child tu atakamtu kejani, yeye atulia, hata ana pressure. Ukimwambia kitu ndio atakwambia ni bebu likachio story. Yani kitu iliku hurt feelings zako, you know. So I think the best thing as a woman, just try to understand your man the way he is. If he wants to change, he will change. So it's up to you to actually see, like, can I be able to live with this? put it on a weighing scale uone his badness and his goodness. If you can be able to stay with his badness, like hakuna mtu perfect, so angalia tu zile weaknesses zake, kama ni 40% tujiambie hizi nawezana nazo, but kama una feel wezani nazo, imagine tu jitoe juu zitakuhurt all the time. And women, we're so emotional, you know, that's just us. Most of the time utapata dem anakach kitu na boy child anaona this is not a big deal to me, but that's the way we are built. We're emotional, we like communicating, we like speaking out. But men on the other hand, most of the time angalia tu family setup, utaona hata mzaya akiingia kwa hata budako kiingia kwa hao tu yeye ametuliana mambo mingi, akuja watch news akule aende adoze. But madhe atakuja hapo anaongea, you know, it's a different, we are all different, so try to understand your man the way he is. And also for men, I think ni ukua tunasia tu uko na ubaya, unapenda dem, hata utasema mimi napenda mama hata sina ngori naye, but before mama understand hivyo, it really becomes, so women, we are patient. But I'm telling you, the day the woman decides it's a wrap, imagine it's over, there's nothing you can do. Even the begging, hata upige magoti, hata umbaye gari, hata ufanye nini, umwambie ile haulikuwa unataka ndio hii. Imagine when a woman decides to go, nothing or no one can change your mind. Inakwanga tu it's a wrap for me and I'm leaving. Adios muchachos.
I can't wait for next week when we're discussing when a man is also ready to leave. But it's actually, but some of the things you mentioned and Bobby, I think it's true. It's also true for, it cuts across both.
Yeah.
Kuna time ingine tu yani yenye umechoka, it's although we've come to the end of the road. You may do your best, but there's nothing that can happen. So Kitia said you're trying to change the man. And they're like what a pastor friend of mine used to say of God, the unchangeable changer. They only change like when they really want to. But where is then the place of, you know, what we always talk about, like where can we get to like sort of a compromise, you know, like before we get to that point. Yes, you know, when a woman is done, it's done. Hata ulia utufanya nini. But how can we, before we get there, like she's just there. Ume notice, inaka hautaki kufika home upate imefika hiyo day. Hiyo day inaweza kuwa ni leo. By the way,
leo jioni.
Kwanza leo,
uko sawa?
Leo ulifinya toothpaste kuja huku. Na leo ndio hiyo ndio trigger.
Ulipue.
Ama ukapata ulipue sana huku nao na inafaa kwa huku. Leo something happened. So before you get there, what do you think can be done in terms of a compromise? Like she's gone, she's almost at the brink, but she's not yet left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the ladies.
All right, go ahead, tell the ladies.
I always say this, but I'm going to emphasize it. Date guys who like you. Date a man who wants you. And there's no two questions about it. You'll see it. You'll always feel it. You'll never ask yourself. Even when he's not texting you, you'll always know. You know why? Because he's going to always step up to the plate. He's going to make you feel wanted. He's going to give you affection and attention. And I think we like to infantilize men and treat them like they don't understand things or like they don't know how to do. They know, because for the women they want, they do it.
Yes.
Even this debate, people are always talking about 50-50. Like, can you date a guy who wants to go 50? Bro, if it doesn't matter, like there's so many people living different kinds of situations and kind of lives. And you could find a man who's very, very broke or even poor. But I promise you, for the girl he likes, he makes mountains move. You'll find even ananga kitu, lakini ule demana like akikam. He will have, like he will make, that's how men are. Man. And that's how women are as well. That's how we are as human beings. When we like people, we like to make their lives easier. And we show it. It's very difficult. Watu sema mapenzi kikohozi. It's very difficult kuficha, kukohoa. Like, hauwezi ficha. Itatoka in some way. So, when it's just like, even it's as simple as if you buy something you like. If you have a new car. Hautaiacha chafu, hautailenganga ati unaiacha umeipark huko nyuma, utaipark mbele mali kila mtu anaiona. So it's very outright. Ladies, go for the guys who love you, who like you. Go for the guys who want you. Wacha kudate wase wenye how like. That's why you start getting the need to start and try changing him. And we normally say like people pretend or people change. But I always say that if you love yourself enough and you work on yourself enough for you to have a certain standard that even though mimi nataka kupendwa. Anytime someone goes subpar or someone goes below that level, you will notice, unless you're not being keen. You know, if wewe umejisetia standards that me I like a guy who communicates, I promise you there's guys who communicate. See, all guys don't communicate.
Yeah, they are communicators.
There's guys who don't communicate, but for the girl they like, they communicate. So watch for these things. It's not rocket science ati. And then something, you know, it's because tukiwa watoi tulikuwa tunaambiwa ule chali amekugonga ndo anakulike.
Yeah.
Tulikuwa tunaambiwa the guy who treats you badly.
Yes.
So you grow
ati
up.
anakuchapa juu anakupenda.
Yeah, so you grow up thinking when someone is ignoring you or someone is withholding affection or attention, huyo ndo anakutaka. And if you have an insecure attachment style, it triggers you. It triggers you. Mse asipokutext unaanza kuwa anxious. Ama mse akikusmother unaanza feel this is too much, like I can't deal with this relationship. When in real sense, when people want each other, there's people who try to make it look like it's not black and white. But I feel like, even I could give an example of going to the gym. Going to the gym is very difficult. I've never been to the gym, but I assume
it is very difficult. I'm telling you. It's fire.
But the day you decide you want to do it, what happens?
You'll go. Now utaumia kwanza for the first week, but you just keep on going.
Even if you've been saying it, like Willis, you used to say all the time, manze leo sijaenda gym, nasikia vibaya. Like when we'd hang out even after work.
Yeah. But unasikia vibaya juu iko in the
you used to say unajua leo nilikuwa nimesema na commit na siku make it. Sasa sijui nikienda singeweza kwenda morning, nilikuwa nataka kwenda jioni. But what happened when you just decided that you wanted this?
I went.
Kuna mtu alitext akakuforce. Kuna mtu alikuuliza. It's because you wanted it, right? So that's exactly how it is. It's because you see you see the long-term consequences of, okay, if I just commit to this one thing, maybe this is what I'm going to get out of it. So let's not infantilize grown-ups, or let's not be stuck in our traumas and say, you know me when I was a child. Okay, sisi wote tulitraumatiziwa hapa tukiwa watoto na grow up into those into adulthood. And it reaches a point where your emotional intelligence is your responsibility. You can't keep blaming it on the way you grew up or the things that happened to you. I mean, okay, yeah, you went through things. Everyone goes through things. But what happens when you need relationships to work is you put in the effort. You have to be deliberate. There's nothing that's easy about being in connection with other people. It's as simple as if you don't text, she's not gonna text you. And then now, you're not texting each other. Like,
kila mtu anangoja.
Yeah. When it could be, yesterday I was telling a friend of mine, asikuwa na kama tujaongea for a while, asini textingi nika, siku hizi uniongeleshangi, siku hizi ako tu nilimwambia cheki, hii ni safe space, uko allowed tu kunitext uniambie, Bobby nataka attention, nimekumiss, ama nataka kukuongelesha. Juu, naweza kwa mimi na go through vitu zangu, emotions zangu za life, time imepita na realize manze sijakuwa nikiongea na QT. Na maybe QT mali yuko amekaa chana filu dem ani textingi back aniongeleshangi, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just a breakdown in communication, and you should feel safe enough even in our friendship to be able QT to text me and say, Bobby hujaniongelesha hii wiki manze, like nimekumiss yo kweli, unajua, just call me, it's okay. And it doesn't matter if you do it this week, next week, the other week, if you keep doing it, because that's your effort for the relationship. But also, you're allowed to get to a point where you're able to say, I've been doing this for 1 year with Bobby. I've been telling her to text me. She doesn't text me. So I feel like this relationship is one-sided. I've done my best, and I've done everything that I possibly could to make sure this relationship can work. I feel left out, so it's not working out for me. And sometimes it's not that I don't love you as a friend, it's just that I'm not in that headspace. But I should be able to communicate. It's not ati mi niende nikulenge na we una try na nakushut out. So it's just give and take. It's two-way. Everyone has to be mature enough to be able to say how they feel at all times.
Right.
And to be able to just come as themselves in the relationships. So, ladies, date the guys who like you. Date the guys who, even in friendships, surround yourself with the people who love you. You will always know that they love you ni kama mapenzi ya mama. Like, even if you argue with your mom, I don't think you ever, if you guys have worked on your relationship, I don't think it reaches a point you say, this woman, she hates me because she didn't want me to wear a short dress. No, it's just understanding. It's, you know, your mom is looking out for you, but she just, that's her way of communicating. And that's the way she shows love. But so if you guys are able to communicate with each other and talk to each other, even when you're not okay with each other, it's easy for you to resolve the conflict at a later time. It's easy for you to come back together and be vulnerable with each other. So avoid au machali wenye wanajifanyanga wako nonchalant, ni kama hawajisikiangi kuongea, lazima uwaforce. Achana nao, wako na dem wao mwenye anafanyanga the right things. Na ako na dem mwenye you show up for. Venye tu nimesema, kuna broke men mwenye ananga kitu lakini ule dem mwenye anataka akikam. Udem atalipia kitu yoyote. And it has nothing to do with wealth. It's just a generosity thing. It's an I like you, I want to make your life easier, I want to make you happy. That's how people are when they like each other and they love each other. So girls, na repeat mara last. Achana na nonchalant nigga men. Sorry. Achana na those kind of men who they don't want to communicate, or they don't want to tell you how they feel.
Yes.
Go for the people who just want to be open with you and tell you how they feel, they communicate. And even when they are unable to, you guys have a way of communicating with each other.
All right, let's take a look at some feedback of what y'all have been saying. I hear watu wako bold pale kwa SMS, wanatusaidia sana. So we'll start with that. I don't know if I can see it clearly hapo. Maybe unaweza nipatia hapa kwa hii pia. That is Grace Wagoi from Githurai. Women should not give men all their attention. Grace amesema Wagoi. Guy. Esther from Nakuru, for me, when I'm done, I just keep quiet. She remembers loving my girlfriend the way she was. I never asked her to change. That was who she was. I did everything for her, but she still left. I have been single for a while now since I was affected. What I may say is that just take that person the way he or she is, because no one is perfect. Hizo zingine ni fake relationship. All right? When a woman is done, huwa hatusemi. Mimi nikitoka, watu walijua kama miezi 2 imepita. Hata ujaribu kubadilisha mtu, anasema wewe ni kelele na kisirani mob. My own guy has changed after a long talk and after a really big silent treatment. Be careful with the silent treatment. That's how, anyway. Unaweza push for long, ubaki uko solo. Insta. What is Insta in full? Anyway, Insta from Nanyuki. When mama stops doing things that she... Okay, this is mama in Kenya. When mama stops doing things that she used to do, or she always on the phone. I'm also on that side, nimenyamaziwa. Okay, pole sana Insta. Kara, watching from Githurai. It's not the last item that pushes her off, Willis. If the lady found a side guy simping on her and she feels he's better than you, she gets a reason to just move. It's always about another guy. I don't know about always, but yeah, probably. It is a factor. I don't know about always. Nowadays, men are leaving homes more than women. Now, that is the topic of next week. We're going to be talking about that next week. Maggie, who's watching live from Karatina, when a woman is done, every conversation becomes an argument. This one is watching from Makweni. I've been married for 13 years, as long as I've been in this organization, and I'm now calling it quits. I'm tired of the constant emotional abuse and issues with alcohol and madarao. So, yeah. Anyway, the fact that she mentioned, anyway, we'll talk about that. Lena, who's watching from Kiambu, one of the biggest signs to know your woman is done is when she goes silent. A man should be worried most when his woman is silent, because it means she has nothing left to say, and probably that could be the last stage of a faded love. Wow. Mumetusaidia, mumeongea. I hope that the men have been taking notes. There kuna ule mwenye masema ukiargue sana pia ni kisirani. So I guess it's a balance. Kuna ule mwenye anasema una argue mingi and then
unanyamaza.
So it's like a balance. So I guess for those who, I don't know, is it true that even like when a woman is done, if somebody is watching, kama ule mwenye amesema amewachwa na alikuwa amefanya earth thing, is there anything that somebody can do ama akubali tu and learn and move on?
Unaona Willis, hata vile feedback imekam ni kuambia when a woman is silent you should be really worried about that because tunakuaga tumefika mwisho. Ukiona dem amenyamaza, so you'd rather ongee. It's better when a woman is talking because it's just our way of communicating. Hata kasi kelele or whether ni kelele, because you'll find men saying, kwa hiyo nyumba tu inakwanga tu kelele kila siku, hata sitaki kwenda huko.
At least kuna kakiru.
At least kuna mtu anaongea kwa hiyo nyumba. But when a woman is silent, you should be really worried. And to find the balance, you as a man, pia we try to understand mtu wako. Whatever it is that she's communicating, as a man, try to listen to your woman. When she's talking to you, that is the only way that you'll find out what a woman is feeling, how a woman is feeling. That's the only way we communicate. It might come out as noise, as nimeona watu wakisema hapo kelele, kisirani. It might come out as all those things. But when a woman is trying to talk to you, just try and listen and try to see what you can fix. Because mwana kuna mtu amesema 13 years and I'm calling it quits. Kusema hapa like 10 years, you find that someone is leaving after 10 years, someone is leaving after 7 years, 13 years, 15 years, because inakuwa imefika mwisho. Point yenye dem amefika mwisho anasema uchali hata nifanyeni, na vile Roberta amesema chali tu kama anakulike na atakufanya hizo vitu zote zenye unataka. But ikifika point tu one tu mwanaume ni kama unamwambia kitu and it's falling on deaf ears. I mean, adios muchachos, it's time to go and there's nothing you can do about it. So at the end of the day, try to understand your person, try to love your person the way that you can show them love. But if you act like you're ignorant or arrogant, ile huyu nimemzoea na makelele zake, huyu tu atapiga kelele, ataenda kwao na arudi. Sawa? Ataenda kwao na arudi mara ya kwanza. Ataenda ya pili na arudi. Ya tatu aende arudi. Lakini nao ikifika ile point hawezi kabisa. Atakuwa zile za so utakuwa unangojea arudi. Kwa kichwa unajiambia si anarudi. Na venye wode amesema hata mabeste wangu, people didn't know even after 2 months. That's how we do it. I'm telling you, when we leave, we don't even tell our friends, we don't tell family anything. Unakanga tu chini unajita meeting. You're just like, you know what, I've been doing this for 5 years now, 10 years now, and this guy is never gonna change.
13 years.
13 years. Mazi anatoka na unapata hapo watu hii wako involved. Vitu mob emotional, financial, you know, physical and mental. Na ina affect mtu mentally because ukika place and you feel like you are unloved, Willis, just because someone is not communicating and you've been trying to tell them to communicate. So inafikaga point you're just like, by the way, it affects sitaki kuongelelea wanaume, but pia wanaume ikifika time yao mental, mwanaume yuko hapo mental, alisha left group, but unajiambia uko in a relationship. So pia unafaa ku read hizo signs zote, like just read the signs, you know, at the end of the day, because if a woman stops talking, that's a sign, that's sign enough for you. Tushawaambia sema tu kuambia akinyamaza, ukifika home upate mama wako na ujua anaweza kupikia, akuserve, akufanyia zile vitu zote ukufanyia, but akuongeleshi. You know, women, we are very like ndafanya hizo vitu zote, Willis. If I'm used to kukupasia nguo asubuhi, kukupikia breko, I'll still do.
You're doing it because it's routine.
Yeah, because it's routine, but I'm not talking to you. Please note, I am not talking to you. Silent treatment from a woman, just know that's the sign. It's a wrap and I'm done and I'm leaving, by the way. Yes.
All right, folks. I guess I hope you are taking notes. I see here to me issue and mood. I hope you are taking notes at home, and I hope that I do hope that before kama hajaenda, you know, and you realize the things Bobby and QT be talking about aptly describes your woman. Please make an effort to communicate, to reach out, to change your ways. And it's not change for 2 months, allows us to do factory setting. You know, actually deliberately sit down and discuss and find out how this makes you feel, how it makes her feel, how you can change, how you can and switch here and move these things around. Because like Bobby says, kama unataka kufanya na kama unampenda utafanya, fanya tu ba. Acha hizi, acha story mingi. No, maboy wataniona aje, watakuona single. That's how. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you again here next week, and now we'll flip the conversation. It was now when a man is done. Unaona hata anapigiwa na uja.
Aniala.
Unaona? Onyala. Walikuwa nadhani ni huo cut. Ameona show akasema wewe Cutie utanianika hivyo. Cutie anakuwa kinyamaza kumbe. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next week. Remember now it is When a Man is Done. So tune in. It's going to be good. Peace and love.